Get this 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.
It's me, Tony Martin, suffering as always from
wastage and seepage.
We've got Ed Cavalier making a significant contribution to Australian broadcasting.
Depends a lot on what you mean by significant.
And, of course, pushing buttons, Richard Marsland. Okay. Thanks very much.
Never keen on you, Rich.
What's going on? I tell you what, Cecilia answers the phones on this show, came running in and gave me the news. She's been on the internet.
What's happened?
That the story about me and Mick Malloy's feud was the most clicked item on the Daily Telegraph website yesterday. Yes, we're back on top. Cop that, Hamish and Andy. The old farts have still got it.
Yes.
Bang.
And all they had to do is have a falling out.
Number one.
Brilliant.
So many letters here. Oh, look, we are just swimming in paperwork. We get so many emails, and I'd hate to think people assume we don't read them.
No, we do.
Just because we don't read them out on air doesn't mean we don't read them. We read them every night.
Yeah.
So much here. Look at this. Here's some good news. Exciting news for this program. Brad King from Lily Pilly has sent us an article from a Gold Coast newspaper.
Oh, yes.
Our friend Warwick Kappa,
Uh-oh.
he wants to be the mayor of the Gold Coast.
That's a good choice.
He's making a push for it. Former AFL star said although he has never attended a council meeting in his life, he possesses just what the coast needs. I have charisma and good looks, and I'm loved by millions.
That's true.
I have something the coast would like to see in a mayor. And, of course, it's illustrated with a picture of him in the meter maid gear.
Absolutely right. But still, with his dignity, that is the tight pink shorts,
Yes.
firmly in place.
Now, I think we should get behind this campaign.
Okay.
Because we've been heaping it on Mr. Kappa for the last year.
Absolutely.
Making fun of his offer to strip in your garage for $3,000.
It's got to have a carpet, though.
Absolutely
the garage.
right. No grass.
No grass.
No, won't perform on grass. Let's say, we're going to be behind this ticket, the Kappa ticket,
Yeah.
as long as during his full tenure as mayor, he wears the meter maid gear.
Absolutely right. And still will strip.
Absolutely.
Yeah. At the end of a council meeting, motion to put in another roundabout. Yeah, no, approved. Motion to paint a gigantic skyscraper of apartment blocks pink. But of course, what other colour would you paint the Miami apartment blocks? And then West, she's down on dirty hooks, something and dirty looks, and out comes the mayor.
Off come the robes.
Out comes the tackle.
Just in every meeting, just in the gear with the sash, the meter maid sash, with just mayor written on it.
Yeah.
Man.
Imagine like a whole lot of boring blokes in suits around a boardroom
Terrible.
table. Then at the head, you've got Warwick in the golden pink shorts with the mayor sash. Anyone disputes any of his motions?
Yeah.
Excuse me, check the package. Who's mayor?
Exactly.
Hello?
Bang. Do you want a mayoral teabagging? Is that what you want?
We have got to get behind this campaign.
The elected member? Hey? Hey?
We've got to do it. Is this going to happen for real?
Hope so.
Anyone who's got info on it, send it in because we are right behind
He's got my vote.
Warwick Kappa, mayor of the Gold Coast.
Yeah. I told you I saw the mayor of the Gold Coast once in a gold suit.
You did not.
I did
really?
so. I was sitting in a cafe and someone walked past in a gold suit and I said, "Who is that?" And they went, "Oh, it's the mayor doing his rounds."
Okay, well, I think this could top that.
Yeah.
What about space? We haven't talked space much.
No.
Brian Sigley, I don't know if that's any relative of Ernest Sigley, has sent us an article. Look at this. Astronomers yesterday announced they had found the first planet beyond our solar system that contains water
Okay.
and therefore could support life,
Yeah.
presumably. But apparently it's millions and millions of years before we'll have the opportunity to ruin it. So forget about
Something
that.
to look forward to.
So much to get through here. What have you got over there, Mr. Marsland?
So many items.
Yeah, a lot of items.
Lots of things here. Sorry, guys. Just give me a sec.
Can we have the treasurer to check out 9, please? Looking for a price check. Price check, Mr. Costello.
Sorry, Mr. Treasurer. Just looking for a price on the bread.
For bread, white loaf, sliced 650 grams, $3.20 Sydney,
And how about in Melbourne?
$3.23 Melbourne.
Just while you're here, Tony wants to know how much these sayos are.
Let me tell him, biscuits dry, 250 grams, $2.01 in Sydney,
Cool.
$2 in Melbourne.
In Melbourne, yeah. And I think we're doing prelude to a fart again today. Ed wants to know how much these are.
Baked beans in tomato sauce, 420 grams, $2.79 in Sydney, $1.76
Brisbane?
actually in Brisbane.
On the carrots. Alexander, can you get Kevin and get him to do a price check on these?
The price of carrots will be determined by Mr. Rudd? I think not.
We are out of the blocks. Dave Butland says you guys were playing Who's Your Favourite Sailor the other day.
We sure were.
Yes.
Quite a list.
Did that go to air? It feels like I dreamt that.
No, that was very real.
I think this week we're doing Who's Your Favourite Tray Law? And,
Yeah,
meat pie
what's your favourite tray law? Meat pie. Meat pie, one word, tray law, YouTube. Check it out, be shocked, and then wait for the inevitable release. When's it coming out?
I don't know, Tone. All right? When's yours coming out?
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, when's this thing you're feuding with?
Oh, we're going to have a feud now, are we?
Yeah, we're having a big feud.
Why don't we get into a feud?
Oh, about, what did we feud about?
Trouble is, it's all happened on the show.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right.
I got a problem with you. I just bring it up
Yeah.
on air.
Okay.
I've got an ongoing thing with Cole Elliott that I didn't want to talk about.
Yeah.
A bit of a feud.
You can't help feuding with Cole.
You can't help it.
You don't know who Cole Elliott is?
No.
He's an Australian comedian of the genre of Kevin Bloody Wilson, of your Rodney Rude.
My apologies.
And he did a long-running series of albums called You Can't Help Laughing with Cole.
Ah, right. And could you?
You couldn't. Not with an apostrophe on the end of the word laughing, you couldn't. Stephen Seagal.
Yes.
You know, how could you miss it out,
Oh,
guys?
Under Siege.
Yes. Greatest sailor ever, Casey Ryback. Stephen Seagal in Under Siege took out an entire terrorist organisation, freed the crew of the Missouri and hooked up with a playmate. How good is that?
Bang.
See, that should have won.
So you could be who's your favourite sailor and then also who's your favourite train ticket collector for Under Siege 2.
Yeah, that's the one where, if you look at it, he's sporting the double-breasted dark jacket and constantly photographed, you know, as if the lighting on his hair wasn't shonky enough.
Takes a lot.
Constantly photographed against the dark background so you can't see the gut.
Yeah, and he's wearing a corset. Ooh. A metal corset.
Okay. It's important information we give you on this show, isn't it? Okay, getting back to the music and the emails. Oh, look, this is a beauty from Tristan Tat.
Come on.
Missed out, guys, on getting through on your phone and read bands that didn't make the bill for Live Earth. However, thought you could mention this one with a little help from Maddie D. Could be some real dizzy stuff here. It's the New Zealand band OMC. Remember the...
The Otago Millionaires Club.
is that what it was?
That's right.
That's what it stood for.
The Otago Millionaires Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are no millionaires in Otago.
Well, there's a club of them. You just weren't invited.
A couple of goats on the end of a bit of string in Otago. He says, remember their hit How Bizarre?
Yes.
Well, he says, what about that bloke from, what's it called?
10-7.
Police 10-7, who says,
How come?
you know, cut it into How Bizarre, you've got a winner for sure.
How come? How come? How come?
Well, Sweet Cena's in the front. Someone's in the back.
Thank you very much, Matty D. Sur le pots et le pans. Oh, look at these PS. This is a beautiful PS. Here's a ringtone for you. You need to put Richard Marsland's version of the Venga Bus song up on your website ASAP. Let's hear it again.
The Venga bus is coming and everybody's running from north to Ibiza in the Mediterranean sun.
Look, that's all fine, Tony.
Yes, it is.
And we all love Richard's Eurobeat work. But what about his history of singing on this very station?
On the station, you mean outside of the confines of Get This?
Outside of the many years before Get This, he
Yeah.
was cranking out the musical stylings as only he can on this very station.
Richard Marsland's Mingo promo, take 2.
You can win a grand a day. What the heck? It's Triple M's Mingo. All you have to do is play a little game we have. It's called Mingo. Musical bingo on the radio is the way to go. It'll help with your cash flow and you'll have that winning glow. Listen weekdays from 9 for Triple M's Mingo. Listen to the songs when you hear them, call us up and say Mingo. Mingo! Nothing could be easier. Every workday we will boost your pay when we give the cash away. That's the name of the easy little game called Mingo. Mingo! Triple M!
Wow, he's asking me during that, should I give myself a round of applause?
No.
What was Mingo?
Mingo was a promotion where they would have 3 songs that announce in the morning that you've got to listen out for.
Right.
And then when you heard the 3rd song, you got to call up and say Mingo. Triple M, bingo. They go together.
Where did you find that here?
Someone in promotions gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Finally.
Very good times.
Finally, we're developing a relationship with promotion.
Absolutely right.
Do they know who we are yet?
Oh, I asked for a DVD player the other day and security came, so maybe not.
What's happening in the world of sports, Ed Cavalier?
I can't tell you what's happening currently in the world of sports,
Yeah.
but if it's early 80s to late 90s you're after, then I've got you covered.
Now, the other day we were talking about bringing back Sheffield Shield cricket, possibly to prime time on Channel 9. A lot of interest in that idea.
Absolutely
You mentioned who was
right.
that bloke you mentioned?
Tim Zoehrer is his name.
Right.
Now, for those who don't know the Zoehrer story, Rich, his own book, which I'm holding in my hand, claims that he is Australia's most talked about cricketer, which is true. Fair enough. And he was a former Western Australian wicketkeeper batsman.
That's right.
Who played 10 tests for Australia and a handful of one-dayers for our fine country as well. Now, he was replaced in the Western Australian side by one Adam Gilchrist. Now,
How'd he go?
He turned out to be a bit of all right. Tim's quite sure that he shouldn't have been dropped for Gilchrist when he wrote this book 10 years ago.
What's the book called?
The gloves are off. Now for the facts.
How do you have a copy of that?
I found it for $1.
Wow.
Yeah, Rob Sitch and I were talking about it, and then the next day I saw it for $1 in a Salvation Army op shop in Sydney. But I can't keep going on about Tim. And why don't we let the man speak for himself as we enter a new segment, Thus Spoketh Tim. Dino wandered deliriously back to the change room, and I knew he was crook as a dog. He was as white as Casper the Ghost, and had lost a truckload of weight. Alcott organised for some boys to lift him into a bath of iced water to reduce his soaring temperature. I thought this brought him back to his old self when he bounced out of the tub and asked me to fetch him a can of Fanta, which he drank. That was the last thing Dino remembered. To this day, he doesn't remember a thing until well into the night, when he awoke to the familiar sights of Alcott, Alan Border, and team coach Bob Simpson sitting on the foot of his bed watching Rocky III. And thus spoke Timothy Zoehrer.
Sheffield Shield clapping.
Beautiful. Do you want to give us another one of those?
I'd love to give you some more Zoehrer. What a load of crap. I knew Sharma was out by a country mile. So did Matthews, and I was convinced Sharma knew the same. I was disgusted and threw the ball to the ground in anger. I mumbled a few unpleasantries behind my breath. That's right, behind. And I told him I thought he was a prick for not walking. The Tilwa told Sharma to get on with the game, and when he took guard again, he cried back to the umpire. Umpire, umpire, excuse me. This man with gloves called me dirty words again. Going to hit him over the head with my bat. I cracked up laughing, turned my bum towards him and pointed at it saying, "No, Gundu. It's more your style to try and shove it up my ass." Gundu in India means pufta. And thus spake Zoehrer.
That is word for word.
I didn't know he played Yoda.
Who's your favourite Sheffield Shield cricketer?
Well, I'm going to go with you in Sheffield.
Oh.
That's the only cricketer I know.
What a surprise.
What about, are you going for Zoehrer? Plumping for Zoehrer at Cavalier?
Plumping for Zoehrer. Plumping for Mark Divenuto,
Oh, yeah.
Tasmania's finest. I'm plumping for Richard Cheekwee, the man who played one-day international for Australia and is in Bing Lee, Brett Lee's band Six and Out. My ex-flatmate John, this is his favourite topic of conversation ever. He said, please, just mention Rog McCurdy and Bruce Laird for me. I said, fine. He said, how about Dirk Tasler? I said, Dirk's mine. Hands off Dirk, he's all mine. How about Wade Seckham?
Yep.
How about you, Rich?
Well, I'm a Peter Sleep man.
A big sleep man.
From way back in the 80s. In fact, I attended a coaching clinic with Hooksy, as a matter of fact, and Peter Sleep, and I managed to crack a six off him. How's that? In the nets.
You cracked off sleep.
I know, at the age
What
of...
happened? One pitched outside off, didn't turn a bit?
I just, away we went, and tonked it over the top.
Okay, throw me a rope here, Rich. If Peter Sleep was an actor at the video shop, who would he be?
An actor at the video shop.
Stephen Baldwin? John Philip Law?
Right. He's more down your Bud Court end of the...
Oh, Bud Court.
Yeah, he makes cameo appearances every now and again. He's got his own cricket bat, or he had his own cricket bat.
Sort of an M. Emmett Walsh type.
Gray Nichols double scoop. Also, I'd go with Bill Ponsford.
Oh, Bill
back in the
Hey, leave
70s.
some for the listeners, please.
Well, what about Sean Klingeleffer from Tasmania? He's still playing. He's doing a fine job.
Rolling the arm over. Now, this is the territory we're talking about.
Okay, now you haven't used all the good ones, have you?
Oh, no. We've only... Wade Seckham's the tip of the iceberg.
All right,
Queensland's second best glove man for years. He's the Lou Diamond Phillips of cricket.
I'd really love to hear a Luke Butterworth right about now.
Michael, how are you?
Nick Jewell.
Nick Jewell. Now, what do we need to know about the Nick Jewell story?
He's an opener for Victoria.
And he...
Has never made a duck.
Never made a duck.
Which for those who aren't down with cricketing terms is zero.
Brilliant.
Oh, okay. So
even if he just gets a shifty leg by, the claims came off the bat, he'll take that.
Is he around the Brian Tabor era, the Rick McCosker sort of school?
He's playing now.
Oh, okay,
Now he's
right.
current.
Clearly
Thank
not.
you, Michael.
Thanks a lot.
Take it easy. G'day, Andrew. How are you?
Aiden Blizzard.
Hayden Blizzard.
These are great names.
Now
I don't know who they are, but they're great names.
Now, is he recent, old Mr. Blizzard?
Yeah, I think actually on a technicality, he probably hasn't played Sheffield Shield because that's not around anymore.
No, it's called Pura Cup now, but we're going into the annual. Now, what do you like most about the Blizzard game?
Well, obviously, it offers so many opportunities for brilliant punning.
Like?
I don't know, Blizzard hits up a storm.
Brilliant.
Blizzard hits Century, Western Australia snowed under, stuff like that.
Blizzard left out in the cold.
Exactly, just blatant cheap shot.
Did he ever face a Carl Rackerman or a Tim May on a lazy Saturday afternoon? No?
No, thank you, Andrew. Lovely to talk to you.
It's got a Sheffield Shield response.
Deb, how are you?
Hi, how you going, guys?
Excellent. Who's your favourite Sheffield Shield cricketer?
Well, a long, long time ago, I used to watch James Brayshaw play cricket.
From the Melbourne Cage and from the AFL Footy Show.
Yes.
He was a bit of all right, the old Brayshaw, wasn't he?
He was in his young... Although he's not doing too badly now. But, yes, I used to actually go out to the MCG and watch them. And, yes, he was a good player.
Can I ask, have you seen the footage of him in the Borat Mankini?
Yes, unfortunately.
Maybe if this Sheffield Shield was to come back on primetime, if everyone was in the Mankini.
Played in the Mankini.
Not a lot of room for sponsorship, obviously.
Well, no, not much. It doesn't leave much to the imagination. And, he'd have problems with his protector too.
Absolutely right, Deb. Thank you for
the other good thing, I've seen Craig Bradley, the captain of Carlton, former captain, and he played Sheffield Shield cricket for Victoria.
Fantastic.
Made a duck.
Bang.
Thank you, Deb. Hello, Damien. How are you?
Got a couple. My favourite would have to be Scott Hookey, a ex-New South Welshman who moved down to the Apple Isle to have a crack.
And how'd he go?
Look, it made a huge 100 against the New South Welshman on his debut game in the ING format,
Bang.
which is the old Mercantile Mutual Cup, I believe. But he was better known, Scott Hookey, in the inner circle as being a little bit of a robber.
Really?
He did a bit of an inside job on a local sports contributor, apparently. And,
Allegedly.
I was an underage cricketer at the time and bought a bat off him quite cheaply.
Quite cheaply.
Thank you, Damien. Libelous and historic. Hello, Peter. How are you?
David Horn.
Oh, a New South Welshman?
Yep.
Now, what was his story?
He bowled Chinaman.
Yes.
Basically left arm leg spin, which meant basically it was an off spinner.
Yeah, and left. Michael Bevan applies the same trade these days, does he not?
Very effectively. If the pitch was taking spin, unplayable, 95% of the time he was getting tonked.
Brilliant.
And of course, being named Horn, he had a nickname of Cracker.
Thank you, Peter.
I got on the piss once with Scott Hook. I think he was a bit of a dickhead.
Well,
allegedly.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Hi, Clinton, how are you?
Oh, good, boys. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be happier. Talk us through it. Who's your favourite?
Definitely my favourite, not only because of his name, but because of his almost stylish handlebar moustache, was Julian Weiner.
Julian Weiner. Who did he play his trade for?
Julian played for Victoria. He was in the late 70s, early 80s, and he was playing in the same side that also had Graham Yallop and Max Walker. So it was moustaches akimbo.
Heavy on the tash. Thank you, Clinton. Lovely to talk to you. No, Tony. We're going to keep going. Steve, are you there?
Dutchy Holland.
Dutchy Holland.
These are
He
great
made his
names.
debut at about 75 years old.
He had a game for Australia, though, didn't
he? He managed a spin bowl without the use of blonde tips or a mobile phone.
Oh, those were the days.
And he had a game for Australia, did he not?
It did, and it wasn't even a veterans event.
We've got time for one more.
Okay. Justin, are you there?
Oh, I'll go for Rodney Hogg, mate. He didn't get a crack until all the good players went and played World Series, mate.
Hogg was just waiting. He was waiting for the carrot to be dangled in front of the good blokes before he could step up, wasn't he?
That's the one, mate, yeah.
Yeah, lovely work.
We're going to have to do, not since prelude to a fart, have we received this many calls, Ed?
Can I say thank you to everyone that called? I am deeply sorry to those we didn't get to.
We'll get to
many
them all.
people calling in saying Jamie Cox, the best man to never play for Australia.
Yes. I have come to a decision during this set. From now on, get this. If ever we do a sketch where there's a doctor or a policeman or a politician we need a name for, it's got to be a Sheffield Shield cricketer.
Yeah.
What about that for an idea?
Dr. Callum Ferguson.
Because I'm sick of trying to work Jeff Hugel into sketches.
Send it to Carl Rackerman.
That's the new rule on the show.
Thank you, everyone.
I need a name for a policeman, Ed. Constable.
Dutchy Holland.
There you go. That's how it works from now on. Get this. Rob Sitch is with us. Thank God your hair is back tonight. Just quickly, Rob, the thing I get asked most is people go, they tell you beforehand what the scene's going to be, don't they?
Someone asked me that today, and then when went 3 layers, no, surely they do. Well, they do.
Right.
No, we don't.
No, but it's that thing where I was on one time and I think I was on a music show, so I just had like normal clothes on. And Ando came out in a chef's outfit. And I'm going, well, it's going to be a kitchen. You're going to be a chef. Or fancy dress party being the other option. But the thing is, you don't really have time. One time I got a police outfit.
That's right.
And they put it on so quickly. You're in a booth. It's like a Grand Prix, the pit crew.
Yeah.
They put it on so quickly. You're going, okay, it's a police uniform. What's my name going to be? Oh, okay, I'll be Constable. And then suddenly you're talking to Shane Bourne. And then you get into the scene and they go, welcome Constable Pierce. And you go, there goes my name. And that's it.
Actually, that's a good example because you don't know where you're actually going.
Right.
And that scenario you didn't realise that we actually had 3 SAS soldiers about to burst through the window, the dog squad and the police band waiting for you.
No.
From memory.
But is it true that, because I've met a couple of people from overseas and they just go, yeah, you must, there's no way that people don't know what they're going to be doing.
No, there seems to be a tradition in some parts of the world, possibly England a little, where the game is to pretend you don't know.
Yeah, right.
And a lot they sort of have rehearsals for the.
Right.
But I don't think it'll work.
Rob, I don't know if you were listening to the show yesterday, but I believe this was partly your idea. Ed was encouraging people to call up with their favourite Sheffield Shield cricketer.
And Rob, it came off the back of a discussion that you and I had
That's
about
right.
one Tim Zoehrer.
We did.
And I have a gift for you.
Oh, you don't. His book.
The gloves are off.
The gloves are off. and so too was Tim, apparently. I think he never made it back to the Australian team.
And what does it say down the bottom there?
Cricket's most explosive expose.
Yeah.
Now for the facts.
Wow.
Do you know the funny thing is he's got his bat on his shoulder and not one cherry mark from the ball is in the middle of the bat.
A lot of edges.
Looks like he's been in a fight at a nightclub with it. Something else, Rob, that I guess you're partly responsible for is our obsession with Rex Hunt.
Yes.
His address to the nation. You've heard it, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I admonish you.
Oh, really?
I know and respect and love Rex.
Yeah.
And I
that's
can
right.
tell you blokes aren't fishermen.
Oh, that's true.
I found this out about my colleague Santo Chilaro one day when Tom and I were driving back from a film shoot one day and we heard Rex talking to the head of Victorian Fisheries.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, yes, you can catch fish up there, mostly redfin. No offence to the species. And I heard Santo laugh behind me. And I thought, what's he laughing at? Redfin can be offended, but I did actually. You've got his address to the nation.
Yes.
I do take the point is that occasionally when Rex reads things out, they do sound slightly different from the original author.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a beautiful film out, A River Runs Through It,
Oh,
written by
yes.
Norman MacLean, the novella, and it ends with Robert Redford's mellifluous voice
Yes.
reading. And Rex loved it so much that he substituted Robert Redford for himself. And I'll read it in Rex speak.
Yes, please.
Eventually, all things merge into one, and a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. On some of the rocks are timeless raindrops. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I am haunted by waters. He paused, he went, I too, folks, am haunted by waters.
I love it. He throws in a lot of, and let me say this, and I will tell you that.
It was such aggressive poetry.
I know. I say that to Tom when we're out fishing. I go, Tom, I am haunted by water.
What he needs to do is read that beautiful end speech from
Beautiful.
As a River Runs Through It, and then just take on his critics.
Yeah, absolutely right.
But as my critics have said time and time again,
Hiding under the rocks.
In the scallop industry.
losers, deadbeats, knockers and grubs. Consumer Watch.
Mind the door.
Are you being sir?
I'm paying money.
I mean, who goes to a website to compare prices?
There's Norks on it.
I mean, just because it's up there,
Sorry, Nikki.
it doesn't seem to stop prices from spiralling upwards.
Absolutely right.
All right, it's getting a bit AM.
It was.
Let's talk bargains. Who's got one?
G'day, Mike.
Yeah, how are you? I've got an Asian gang meat cleaver from a little Asian shop in Thomastown in the kiddies' toy section.
Oh.
In the toy section, you got a
the
meat
kiddies'
cleaver.
toy section.
How much did you pay for it?
$7.
Bargain.
Yeah, bloody oath.
G'day, Dave. How are you?
Oh, by the way, before, can I just ask, how's the Labrador going, Tony?
Oh, it's just expanding.
Oh, yeah, mine's the same. Like, he even lies down. You throw him a bit of food and he won't even get up to eat it while he's laying on the ground.
Has the dog ever been known to say no to any piece of food?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I tell you what, my dog said no to tofu once, and I gave it a round of applause. I said, yes, that's not a food, that's sponge rubber. Well done.
Yeah, true. Very true.
All right.
Tell us about your bargain, Dave.
I was actually down Crazy Clark's a few months ago, and I got a nasal hair trimmer for $2.
Oh, is that one of those Asian gang nasal hair trimmers?
And,
I think they're illegal.
Yeah, it only lasted 2 months, but it's only $1 a month, eh?
Well.
You couldn't hire it for that. From Dave to David, how are you, bro?
I got a double-featured DVD for $2 at Dick Smith's, and the first one's called Busted, and it actually stars Corey Feldman and Corey Haim.
Oh, wow, I haven't heard of that one.
Well, it's also got Elliot Gould in it, apparently. I haven't actually taken it out of the plastic to watch it.
No, it's a collector's
I'm
item.
actually going to send it in to you guys, but I'll give you a quick rundown. A screwball comedy where a sleepy summer resort transforms its jailhouse into a bordello and its beautiful lady cops into hookers.
I think that's our movie of the year. Busted with the Coreys. What's Elliot Gould doing?
I've got no idea, but he's in the credits on the front. And
Yeah.
it's got a quick thing, I think, must be from the producers or something, because it's got faster than a speeding airplane and more powerful than a naked gun.
Yeah.
We've got to get that to add to our Corey's shelf here
Definitely. I didn't think the two Coreys had ever done any work together, but...
What are you talking about? License to drive, dream a little dream. We could go on.
Sorry.
Please.
Thank you, David. Please send it in. That's very kind of you. Mark, are you there?
My friend, I'll state that, got a Plumpers magazine for $2 in Fishwick.
A what magazine?
Plumpers.
What is that?
What is Plumpers?
I'm sure you can work it out.
It's
over 50s and Plumpers.
I saw that at your place, Richard. Okay, it's not enough that they're plumpers; they've got to be elderly plumpers.
Imagine being the recruiter for Plumpers.
Yeah.
Trawling coals during the day. Hey, you ever thought about doing some modelling? Well, I didn't, but...
Not plump enough.
Have you had a look at it, Mark?
No, it was my friend's.
Oh, Mark, you're wearing the T-shirt as we speak.
Guilty.
Guilty?
I heart plumpers.
Thank you for everybody for calling in.
Craig Eagle, comedian
Hello,
Craig.
sir.
Hey, the applause. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Tony, Ed, Maslando.
Good to see you.
Nicky.
Hey, you're in a comedy duo with Dale and Evans, seen on The Wedge. You guys in a Martin Malloy-style feud, by any chance?
Constantly.
Are you?
Constantly. And just with Eagle Evans, it was the show that almost went to air.
The show that
almost went to air.
Almost
That
went
needs
to
to
air.
mention, almost went to air. And now, with reference to the feud, I'd just like to put my viewpoint forward, Tone.
Yeah, sure.
I am squarely and firmly on your side.
How are you?
Unless Mick asks me onto the nation.
Okay, fair enough.
But there's only one mature way to handle a Tone.
Yeah.
Mature adult way.
What's that?
Celebrity boxing match.
Oh, well.
You and Mick squaring off. You and the Stars and Stripes tights.
A drinking competition has been suggested.
Ooh, that's good too.
I'm going with a DVD view down. Comedian and pub manager.
Can't get enough.
Now, hey, you one of these pubs where people aren't allowed to smoke?
Well, that's every pub time.
Yeah, well, in South Australia, I think it's
for another month or
till November. I think they've
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
But is
they're
it?
trying to get rid of the South Australians. So
Are
let
they?
them smoke. Let them smoke.
What about your punters? How are they taking to it?
Well, fine, not a problem.
Really?
It's actually. I've had more people in who haven't been to pubs before.
Right.
But the thing is, they're old.
Oh,
They're old and they don't know what it's all about.
Oh, getting back to the old style pubs.
Yeah, they're kind of going to go, oh, we can go there now. It's not smoky.
What about a really, really, really long cigarette holder? So you could be at the bar and it could just be out the door.
You mean like the one that I have while I'm working in the bar that goes out the door?
With your cravat and monocle.
But they're hilarious because they think it's a restaurant on a Saturday night. They think they're at the casino or something. And you walk over and go, g'day guys, how they hanging? And then some old man goes, could you send over the drinks waiter, please? And I'm just like, what are you looking at him, buddy? What do you freaking want?
And what sort of gimmickry have you got in the pub? Because I know a lot of pubs are going, okay, we're losing smokers. We need to get back the love tester. Remember the love tester?
yeah.
Beautiful.
At the pub, have you got any sort of gimmicks in there?
Well, there's basically the only gimmick really is just a little bit of heating outside and my foul, smoky breath.
Oh, beautiful.
To remind those that they can't smoke. Hello.
Yeah, but if they want a taste of the old days, you can just breathe on them.
Well, that or if they want to have the old days, I just punch on with them.
Oh, those are days. Now
That's never going to leave a pub.
Let's move on to spam. Do you get much of the spam email, Craig?
Not anymore. I used to get heaps. I've just changed my server and stuff.
Have you got a filter?
Well, no, because I don't like lots of porn.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No, but I'm just going to turn it off all the time.
Well, I got this one because I get a lot of them, and it starts quite well. Listen to this. Good day, everyone who has received our letter. Syntax a bit shaky. Not necessarily suspicious so far. If you have received this letter, do not be in a rush to delete it. This is not spam, but a great opportunity for you.
I'm in.
Still okay.
Yeah,
It's a bit shaky, but okay, let's move on. This offer is for people who hasn't found a good yet job.
Bingo.
Oh, now
there
we're
we go. Look out.
Now we love it. Or for people who is just looking for extra income of money. You have found it. All you do is send us email and tell us of your much interest. We guarantee a stable high daily payout in range of $7,000 per day. Now, they've decided maybe you're onto it now. How can we reverse that perception?
$7,000 a day for just sending an email saying I'm interested.
Yeah.
Does seem a little far-fetched.
It's in the stable high range, though.
Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't say dollars, it just says $7,000 per day.
Oh, we don't know what it is.
Could be anything.
Emails, probably.
But listen to this. Then they go, after reading this letter, you will think it's too good to be true.
That's what I've been thinking.
But you can throw those thoughts away right now.
Hang on.
And then in huge letters, important. It is not a spam and is real offers from all. If our letter has got to you at the wrong address, please remove letter hour, and we promise you that from us to you, the letter will not come. Excuse me? Just thrown excuse me in at the end.
Just a reminder, just to say, well, maybe they're thinking, you're going, well, excuse me. Maybe you're saying, oh, excuse me. On a related topic, I had a telemarketer call me last week. Big long gap, and then started the spiel. I just went, oh, will you piss off?
Yeah.
Hung up. 5 minutes later, the phone rings again. Big long gap, and then this, you'll piss off. Come back and has pranked me. And the first thing I could say was, is this call being monitored for training purposes?
Yeah, you could have got that shorter, mate.
Yeah.
When telemarketers bite back.
That's great. Just a guy in a turban in a booth somewhere just going,
I'll give you, swear at me, matey.
This is going to be good. Switch the tape off. Switch the tape off. All right, that's great. But hey, what about boring conversations your partner's dragged you into? I don't know why that's our topic today.
I was out with a friend of mine the other day, and we were just having lunch, and his phone rang, and it was his girlfriend, and he must have spoken to her for 10 minutes, something long. You could just hear, oh, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He hung up, and I said, well, what was that about? He said, mate, I've got no idea. I don't have a clue what that was about. I was picking my lunch off the menu while I was talking to her, right? And I said, but what's the general gist? And he goes, oh, mate, look, normally it's just about like family or work or something like that. I don't really know.
Somebody's died, apparently, at a funeral.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who cares?
Craig, do you get roped into this? You're married, are you not?
Well, I'm married. I've been married for a very long time, so boring conversations are par for the course for me now.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And I guess now being married for so long. Hi, Pauline, if you're watching, love you. That's the beautiful Pauline McDonald who used to work here at this very station.
So
she sends hi, by the way.
Two love yous will get you out of the trouble that's about to follow.
Oh no. Oh, no. See, but being married so long, I can actually pick the warning signs.
Oh, yes.
That's another clue, too.
Oh, yeah.
Any conversation that starts with, now, love, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Oh.
So that's indicated. So the boring conversations for me are normally anything that involves superannuation.
Please.
Schooling of the children.
Homeschool.
Or why did I get home at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning?
Tedious.
Tedious little things.
Leave it alone.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm married. People know about that, so I get into conversation. Well, you see, you say comedian bar manager. This is because you can't really, you have to have two jobs if you're in comedy. My wife's in the film industry, so she has about 7 jobs, one of which is she's taken to designing her own handbags.
Really?
I don't need to know all the details of how the handbags are constructed. But at the same time, I guess she doesn't need to know about the extremely complex alphabeticalization system with the DVD. So it swings and roundabouts. There. Marsland, your incredibly hot girlfriend, does she bore you senseless?
A previous girlfriend.
He's got it. He's so good at that.
I'm going to dob myself in here because
Yeah,
I just cannot stop talking about four-wheel drives when I am out on the road.
Really?
You cannot stop me complaining about them. They pull up next to you at the T-junction. You can't see past them. You can't see over them.
Do you have a name for them that you could never say on the radio? I do.
Yeah. I mean, there's several expletives, but I know it just used to, and my ex-girlfriend used to just time, when she would see a four-wheel drive coming or coming behind me, how long it would take before I could complain about it.
Hello, Dave.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Talk us through it, bro.
Mate, my wife is mad about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I say get over it. How boring is it, Dave?
Mate, we actually will be driving in the car, and she's recently discovered Buffy the musical edition of Buffy.
I've
seen that.
Great
Oh, it's horrendous. We actually drive, and she tries to make me sing duets with her. Which is,
How romantic. Does it get so serious she gets onto Angel as well?
Actually, we've named both of our dogs are called Angel and Spike, which are the two bad guys out of Buffy.
What you really need there, Dave, is a counter topic. What do you come back with?
Cars. Four-wheel drive.
Cars. Do they cancel each other out?
That'll do.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Dave, can I suggest, dear, check out this new edition of Plumpers magazine. Throw that in the mix.
Plumpers.
Hello, Craig. How are you?
Well, I came home from footy training last night. Instead of my dinner sitting there, ready to be eaten, I've got a chart, our 5-year plan.
I say get over it.
And what was on the 5-year plan?
I don't know. I put my dinner on top of it and put the paper around it and didn't really... tried to distance myself from the subject really quickly.
Was it just financial or was it emotional as well?
Financial, and there was a bit of emo work in there as well.
Some emo work. More 30 seconds to Mars in our relationship. Thank you, Craig.
Lower the fringe.
Shocking stuff. Hello, Peter. How are you?
Good, thanks.
What do you get dragged into?
Popcorn.
I say get over it.
What about it?
Well, every time we go to the movies, we can't eat the popcorn because it's so salty, so I spend the rest of the night whinging about how we can't actually eat any popcorn, even to the point where we ring up the managers the next day and complain about how bad their popcorn is.
Peter.
Have you thought about not eating the popcorn at any stage?
Well, it's at movies. I mean, movies, popcorn, you have to have the popcorn. So
Peter, you're such a romantic. You have such a lovely day. We have dinner, popcorn, letter to the editor the next day. G'day, Mark.
My wife has this encyclopedic knowledge of bloody supermarket prices.
I say get over it.
So she's like an offline version of that website we're all supposed to visit.
Yes, exactly. Like I really need to know that she could have saved 4 cents going to Aldi.
But if you go to Aldi, inevitably you come home with 7 cans of soup and a bike.
Yes. It's the most bizarre combination of items at Audi.
Lawn chairs.
Heat beads and meat.
There is a tape going around. Have you guys heard the John Howard tape?
No.
The one from Tasmania? No. They've been playing bits of it on the news where he forgot the name of the candidate, the Liberal candidate for Franklin.
Well, he's old.
Yeah, that's right. Who could remember all those names anyway?
He's old. I mean, Franklin's not one of the better electorates, let's be honest.
I'm struggling to remember the names of all the breakfast shows.
Exactly right.
On the 4 stations we're on.
Zoos and cages and stuff.
Exactly. So I've got the tape here of that rather embarrassing interview. Check this out.
The candidate in Franklin, Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Her name? The candidate in Franklin, Prime Minister.
I support all of my candidates.
What's her name?
I've forgotten it.
Come on, Mr. Howard. The candidate for Franklin is...
Oh, Bob Dylan.
No, come on, John.
English.
No, it's not John English. It's a woman. Her name is...
Mariana.
No, it's neither of those.
I support all of my candidates.
Can you name one of them?
Reebok.
No, your candidate's the...
Flintstones.
No, they're...
Vegetables.
No.
Shorts.
Wrong again.
Fruit Loops.
Mr. Howard, can you recall your own name?
Yes.
Well, what is it? Well?
I've forgotten it.
Mr. Howard, I'll give you one final chance. The candidate for Franklin is...
Bad for the environment.
All right.
It was not as good for the environment.
Okay,
Too much electricity and interferes with marine life.
All right, Prime Minister.
I support all of my vegetables.
Oh, look.
Lost it.
Dear, oh dear. It's a long campaign trail. I didn't know that the candidate for Franklin was interfering with marine life.
Well, you know what that means is she's down on that beach with the giant squid.
Oh, yeah.
Poking around.
I trust you to have seen that. Did you imagine? Look, he's drooling.
No, because the first thing I thought of was, something delicious was washed up because they found a baby mammoth. Did you see that? They found a baby mammoth in Russia, in the ice, 10,000 years old.
Good eating.
That's some good eating.
Get this, it's blown out to 2 hours, 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.